Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Eric Lofholm, and today I'm joined by Alex Branning, who is one of those people that is brilliant with technology and how technology integrates into the sales process. And technology has been an important part of the sales process for several decades, but I think it's gotten increasingly important because nowadays so much of our businesses involve technology, the smartphone, social media, and there's all these things that we can be doing in our businesses to leverage technology. And Alex is truly an expert at it. And I thought it'd be a great conversation for the Eric Lofholm community because we talk so much about sales, and we really need to be spending more time also talking about technology and how does technology help you increase your sales results. So Alex and I are going to have a conversation about technology. He also owns his own software company, and Alex has a CRM that we're going to make available to you at the very end of today's call, which might be a tremendous addition to your business. And so, Alex, why don't we start off with share everybody about how did you get interested in technology in the first place?
I was a nerd growing up, Eric, and I fell in love with computers. I fell in love with coding and programming. And so that's what really got me started. And for me, it was a passion. It wasn't just, something that I saw on the side as an option. I saw this as the wave of the future. When I was 17, I started my business, and it was right at the dot-com boom. There's a lot of things going up, going down, huge changes in the market. But I knew the internet's the future and every single business is going to need it. So I just jumped in.
Awesome. Do you remember when you and I first met, what year that was?
That was about 9 years ago. And I was in the process of just really going after personal growth, specifically sales. And your book was given to me by our mutual friend, Nancy.
Yeah. So about 9 years ago, Alex became a client of mine, and he's had tremendous success with sales techniques that I've taught. And then I've become a client of Alex's, and we've done a lot of business through the years where I've helped Alex on sales, and Alex has helped me with technology and built websites for me and just various projects leveraging his mind with tech. And one of the things about Alex is, in addition to having that tech mind, he also is a really effective communicator. And so he's really good to work with us salespeople, us business people, because he has the tech down and he has the communication skills. And so why don't we talk about, let's start with, what is a CRM?
Yeah, great question. So a CRM, when it first came out, the term CRM was really not much more than a spreadsheet that allowed you to keep organized. But now, in 2023, a CRM is so much more. So Agent CRM, for example, allows you to organize your data, not only by tagging contacts, but also doing things like smart lists and being able to track what web pages they viewed. Gives you a really good idea. So for example, I see Kirk on the call here. Inside of my CRM, I can see Kirk's contact information, how Kirk found me. And then when I send Kirk links to PDFs and other resources, I can actually see inside of the CRM what he's clicking on, what he's interested in, which is huge for me as a business person, right, Eric? Because now I know where he's going, and I can help him as he pursues these next steps. But a CRM also allows you to send messaging out, right? So you have your email, text messaging, which we'll talk more about. My CRM also has a phone system. So you can actually call from the CRM and it records the conversation for you. You can do voicemail drops and more. So a CRM is really a great tool for you to organize your data, keep track of where people are in the sales pipeline, and then use it as a marketing machine so that it takes your customer prospects up that sales mountain, as you describe in your book, from lead all the way to setting an appointment and then closing the deal.
Excellent explanation. You would all think that are on here right now, if you know me as the sales trainer that I am, you'd think, well, of course, Eric, from day one, you had a CRM and you were keeping all of your leads and clients and prospects and staying in touch with them in your CRM. And the truth of the matter is, I did not have a CRM until 2002. I launched my company in 1999. So I didn't even have the awareness of, hey, you need to be keeping track of these leads in an electronic database. And I remember a gentleman told me that I needed to be doing email marketing back in 2002. And I said, well, I'm an offline person. I coach, I speak. And he's like, Eric, you don't understand. This is back in 2002. He goes, you don't understand. We're all online now. And he had to like convince me. He had to like arm wrestle me to get me to agree to start using these technology tools like what you and I are going to talk about today. So that decision, his name was Robert, me taking Robert's advice and embracing that conversation, one of probably the 5 most important business decisions that I've ever made. And as evidence of it, I mean, here it is 2023, and you're probably all here on this Zoom watching it live or the replay because you got an email and you were invited from a database by CRM. Yep. And here you are. And so I use my CRM, I mean, pretty much every day, and I used to resist it. So could you talk a little bit about that mindset of, Eric and Alex, I'm a real estate agent. I sell insurance. I sell cars. I'm in network marketing. I'm not a tech person. I talk to people. What do I need a CRM for? Can you just speak about that mindset?
Yeah. So, one of my favorite stories in talking about why a CRM, it brings me back to Christmas of, I think 2000 and about 8 years ago, like right after you and I started talking, you were really pushing me to do email marketing. And I'm very coachable. So I was like, okay, I'll set up the CRM, even though I only had a few contacts at the time. And, long story short, we had a plumbing issue at our house. And I remember texting you like, oh my gosh, I'm in this state of chaos. I wasn't thinking clearly. And you said, email your list and offer. And thank goodness I actually had taken your advice and plugged people into a CRM, but I had never emailed them. And I wrote out an offer to my list, sent the message, and by I think it was about a week later or so, and all the things were collected, I was able to make 8 sales on a product about $100. And then 2 of the people, the big thing was, Eric, 2 of the people that I emailed said, oh my goodness, it's so good to hear from you again. I meant to get back in touch with you, but kept forgetting. Let's move forward on the sales proposal that you sent me. And so that's just one example of you using a CRM to stay in front of people using, for me, it was an email sending out an offer, but it doesn't have to be an offer every time. It could just be an email checking in. But that's one example of how I used a simple email to get back in touch with our prospects. One of the things that you taught me was make sure that you stay in front of your prospects so they don't forget you, because we're all busy. We're all have multiple things going on, and it's easy to forget to take action on something, even if we're excited about it. And so for those of you that are not using a CRM and you're saying, okay, things are going well, I want to encourage you that I believe no matter how well things are going without a CRM, they will go better once you incorporate technology into your business, because technology allows you to multiply yourself, and it allows you to set up systems so that you can go out and stay in front of people and really have a system that taps people on the shoulder and says, hey, I'm just checking in, or by the way, when we talk next, here's what I'd like to discuss on our call. Various ways to put yourself in a position to take that prospect to the next step of the customer journey.
Yeah, I'm going to put something up here on the screen for you guys just to walk you through an idea. So Alex and I, we are referral partners for each other. So I refer Alex business and Alex refers me business. Now, part of why I'm attracted to Alex as a referral partner is he has my target market. He has business people that can benefit from sales skills in his database, and he doesn't do the sales training the way I do it. I have people in my database that can benefit from Alex's CRM and all his technology tools, and that's different than what I do. So in my world, we call that a reciprocal referral relationship. So part of the attraction is we each have a database and we each have each other's customer. So let's just say that I didn't have a CRM with all my contacts in it. And I'm talking to Alex about, hey, we can be referral partners. And Alex says, well, do you have a CRM with your database in it? And I go, well, no, I don't. And then Alex might politely say, well, Eric, I don't really see how we would be able to be referral partners, because how would you let your people know about me? I mean, I could do it one-to-one, but it's so much more powerful because Alex has a database and I have a database. And so for today's Zoom, we have, there's 10 of you plus Alex and I, right? So we have a Zoom and there's 10 of us, 10 of you plus Alex and I. Now watch this. So Alex, do you remember the last time you looked how many people registered for today's Zoom meeting?
Yeah, it was almost 140. It was 138 people exactly.
Okay, so I emailed my database, and I think that was the main way I promoted it. So I emailed my database, and 138 of my people opted in to today's Zoom. And those opt-ins are now in Alex's database. When you registered for the Zoom, you were opting in to his database. And so what's beautiful is those 138 leads came in, and it was at zero cost to Alex because we support each other. So I'm referring him and he's referring me. And those are endorsed leads. And he can now email market to those leads for life. And the people that opted in, they data enter themselves into Alex's database. So if Alex doesn't have the database, let's say I agree to promote him, and he goes, well, Eric, I don't have a database like that. Can you do it? And I go, okay, no problem, Alex, I'll promote it. So instead of promoting his database, I'm promoting my own. And still the same number of you would show up. There'd still be 10 of you on the Zoom right now, but all these people would not be in Alex's database.
Right.
And you think about the value of that. So these leads, if it was Facebook ads, if Alex was running Facebook ads, those leads, I always say it's $10 a lead. Now, sometimes you could do lead costs for less than that, and sometimes it's more. But if you were running Facebook ads to get 138 opt-ins, basically the asset value of the lead is $1,380. And you might go, Eric, I'm not running Facebook ads. It doesn't matter. There's still a value. There's a value to those leads, and the value is even more powerful because those leads are in Alex's database, versus if you go to a networking event and you get a bunch of business cards. Sometimes they just go into a rubber band and you got this big stack of business cards. What we're talking about is building a list. And so these leads go into Alex's list. Alex, are you okay sharing like how big your email list is now?
Yeah, it's about, we're a little over 60,000 people.
Did you say 16 or 60?
60.
60,000 guys. That is just mind-boggling. And when Alex started, he just had a couple leads, right? And so,
yeah,
most of you don't need a 60,000 person list, but what if you had like a 600 to 1,000 person list that you could market to for the rest of your life? So let's talk now, Alex, about somebody who's watching this and they go, I only have a few leads. Why should I build a database? It's never going to grow to anything anyway. Why should I do it? What would you say to that person?
I would say that what you need to ask yourself isn't, what am I going to get out of the leads that I have right now? Because if you're looking at a small number, you don't have a large list, then it can be a little bit, frustrating. What I would look at is say, what look at your list as the next asset for your business. And I go, okay, what am I going to do so that I can get people into that list? Like, for example, we're doing a Zoom call right now. We had 138 people sign up because of a joint promotion. So, but what can you do to build that list? So some examples of ways that you can grow your list would be, to schedule a Q&A and have people register for it, to give away a PDF, like, invite people to a strategy call. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can build that list. Once you focus on building the list and you start seeing some new names in there, well, now you can get creative and, you can tap on Eric's shoulder or mine and say, now that I'm growing my list, what do I do to get them on the phone? Right? Because they've expressed interest in the services that you provide, because I'm assuming that the resources you're giving out are related to how you're going to support their business or their family. And now you have an opportunity to let them know more about how you support their business and family and invite them to schedule a call with you. That's really lead generation 101. I'm making it very basic and simple, but I don't want you to think about, well, I only have this many people right now. Because if you don't have a CRM, then kind of like how Eric described in that example of me not having a database, like if I didn't have that, then I wouldn't have been able to collect the leads that he was able to send my way. In the same way, if you don't have a CRM right now, then you're missing out on an opportunity. You don't even know how many opportunities, but you're missing out on opportunities where people can send you leads, or you can generate leads online, be able to store them and then message them later. One of the best ways that I look at lead generation and really looking at the value of my list is I look at my average customer lifetime value. And I go, okay, if I were to generate, let's just use round numbers for this conversation, right? So let's say that if I'm able to get a customer, I'll generate $1,000 for the year. And, let's just say it's $1,000 for the customer value. Well, out of 138 people that registered for this webinar, let's say I'm only able to, close 13 of them, right? 10%. If my average lifetime customer value is $1,000 a customer, and I close 10% of the leads of people who have signed up for a webinar about how to grow your business using technology, so it's really in line with what I am able to help you with, this could be a $13,000 conversation that we're having on Zoom, right? In the same way, if your average customer value as a real estate agent or a business coach, is $1,000 or more, and you're able to generate 10 leads online and you close one, now you've got a sale that you can directly attribute to you having a CRM and setting up these processes to close leads that you get online.
Great example. Here's some other things that you can do with an email list. So if you want to get more people to connect with you on LinkedIn and you have an email list, like Alex could send an email out to his 60,000 people and he could say, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn. Here's my handle. And he gets 1,000 people to connect with him in one day. He also he can segment the list. So he doesn't have to send out to all 60,000. Let's say of his 60,000, he has 5,000 customers. He could email just his customers and say, hey, because you're a client of mine, I thought it'd be great if we connected on LinkedIn. And then he sends it out to those 5,000 people. So that's something you can do. There is, with anything, there's a learning curve. And so if by the end of this Zoom, you have come to the realization that you need to get into the CRM game, you need to have a CRM, you want to take immediate action because you want to get that learning curve down. You want to get through the learning curve as quickly as you can. It's kind of like back when you learned how to drive, right? I got my license when I was about 16 and they had all the stuff you had to do in order to get your driver's license, the driver's ed and whatever you had to do. I wanted to get through that as quickly as I could. So I got the learning curve down. So once you come to the realization, and it may happen on this webinar, like this webinar that Alex and I are doing, it could be one of the 5 most important webinars you've ever attended, because a lot of people are where I was back when Robert taught me to get a CRM. I'm like, I'm an offline guy. I don't need that. I don't need an email list. I don't need to be doing this. And that conversation that he had with me, the conversation Alex and I are having with you guys right now, it literally could be one of the 5 most important conversations of your life. The next thing I want to share with you is this idea that you can think in a distinction. So if you don't have the email list, you're not going to be thinking of all these ideas of how you can leverage your email list. So once you get started with a CRM, and then it's going to open up these ideas of what you can do with it. And the next thing I want to talk about, Alex, is a really simple idea of how to get people to opt into your list. And it's called a lead magnet.
Yeah.
So could you talk about what is a lead magnet? Maybe give like how like a real estate agent or a car salesperson or insurance salesperson or network marketer might use a lead magnet?
Yeah, so a lead magnet is a resource that you create that helps your target prospect either learn something or achieve something. So for example, if you're a real estate agent, you could create a PDF on how to find the value. Someone requests that PDF and they download it from a landing page that you create. You can make a really good assumption that that person that just downloaded that PDF is looking to sell their home. For an insurance agent, you have a video that you shoot on your cell phone or shoot on your computer like this, where you talk about the various types of life insurance. And you can offer that as a lead magnet. Say, I have a short video, watch it at your own pace, at your leisure. I talk about the different types of life insurance. This is just an educational resource for you. When they request access to that video, again, you have a really good idea that that individual is interested in purchasing life insurance. So when I talk to people about lead magnets, Eric, one of the things that they get a little bit hung up on, because it is a new thing, is the learning curve to create the lead magnet itself. But I want to encourage you, those of you that are watching, that a lead magnet does not have to be beautiful. It does not have to be professionally designed. It's simply sharing knowledge with someone. One of my most high converting lead magnets that I've made, a simple Google Doc with no images. And I made a Google Doc and I listed out some of the most effective headlines that I've used in my emails. It was literally a Google Doc with a numbered list, Eric. And I shared that. And at the bottom of my Google Doc, I said, if you want more help with email marketing, I've created a video course that you can follow here. And there was a link to go to my course. Now, the lead magnet was free. And then I had an opportunity to call the people that opted into the lead magnet, make sure they got it, answer questions they had about email marketing. And then if they were interested, I could offer them the course as well. But it doesn't have to be pretty. It's just a matter of sharing your information with your audience. And I want to leave you with this affirmation. The people that are on your friends list in your social media profiles, the people that follow you online, they are rooting for you to win. And when you make that lead magnet, whether it's a video or a Google Doc or something more, and you ask the people in your audience to share that to someone that would be interested, or tag someone who they had a conversation with about it, you're going to be introduced to people who have been looking for that information but didn't know someone they trusted was in their network, right? And so I want to encourage you, when you get off this, make a list of 2 or 3 different ideas that you have about a lead magnet, and then execute on it. And then, make a landing page. My team can help. You can build the landing pages inside of Agent CRM. You don't need additional software. And simply request a name, email, and a phone number for the individual before they get that resource that you've created. And now they're in your database. And now you have an opportunity to serve them at a higher level by scheduling an appointment and then offering to help them with your paid product or service.
Great idea there, Alex. I want to speak a little bit more about the idea of thinking in a distinction. So some of you are familiar with the fact that I teach people how to write a book in a day. Some of you may have done that class with me. Well, This is a golf pro who created this book with my help. He took my book in a day class. He got the book to the finish line, 21 ways to lower your score. So he's coaching people on how to be better golfers. And so the book's on Amazon, and I just pulled up his website. This is his website here. Now, he does not give away the book as a lead magnet, but he could. So when you come to his website here, it could say, hey, would you like a free copy of my, would you like a PDF version of my book, 21 Ways to Lower Your Scores? If yes, put your email in the chat, in the opt-in. And so Dana, he could do a post on Facebook, and the post would say, if you like a free copy of my ebook, 21 Ways to Lower Your Golf Score, or lower your scores to improve your golf game, type the word yes below. So they typed the word yes below. Dana's going to then respond with a link to his opt-in page. So what we're talking about now, this is where you start thinking in a distinction. We're talking about taking a lead magnet and then your opt-in landing page, and then over here, social media like Facebook, and we're bringing them all together. And we're thinking in combinations. Now, when the gentleman talked to me, Robert, get my CRM back in the day, my brain couldn't do that because I didn't even understand the value of a CRM. So how would I start using my mind to do this? And the conversation that we're having with you guys, it works so well with what I'm teaching you in the Eric Lofholm community. It's just, Alex is basically like an extension of you online. And one of the reasons that I wanted to introduce him to all of you is because Alex owns his own software company. He is we've done a lot of business together. He understands the protege community. And so it's an opportunity for you to build relationship, to really learn how these tools work, and then have Alex's software help you. And for some of you, that's going to be a really great next step, because you're like, I'm not really sure what to do. I need some help. And one of the things that Alex and I talked about with the offer that he's going to make in a little bit is it's going to come with some onboarding time with Alex's tech team. And the next thing I want you to talk about, Alex, is, a lot of people buy software and they never use it. They never, they're just paying this monthly thing and they're not using it because they don't quite, they're sold on the software. That's why they got it, but they don't have the learning curve down. So could you just talk about that importance of, getting started with the software so it could actually start helping you?
Yeah. So one of the things that I even recognized in myself, Eric, is that I would get software. I would get excited. I would follow my, the lead of somebody that I'm, following and tracking their success. And then I wouldn't do anything with it because I would get frustrated and not know the next step. So at Agent CRM, what we do when you sign up, and we'll give you the option here in a moment, but when you sign up, you can either sign up for which means you can go in and explore yourself without any financial commitment, or the option that I believe is a better fit would be the option to get 3 months of Agent CRM. And when you do that, I include 3 hours of time with my team. Now, what happens when you sit down with an expert? Let's talk about cars, right? If I was to sit down and try to change my own oil on a car, it would probably take me an hour and a half, right? The right tools, I'm not used to it, right? Like, it's just going to take me longer. It's not my skill set. Somebody who knows what they're doing is able to change the oil in 10 minutes and be on their way. In the same way, when you're setting up your CRM, you can try to figure it out yourself and you will be successful at it because all of Eric's students have grit and they just get it done. But it's going to shortcut your time and it'll eliminate some of the mistakes that you might make when you're figuring stuff out if you were to have a team member of mine help you get set up with your CRM. Uploading leads, we have a whole bunch of templates for lead generation, so getting those set up and dialed in. And then you'll be off and running. The goal with the 3-hour time slot that we've designated for Eric Lofholm students, the goal is to make it so that when you're done with that 3 hours, you've actually got a lead generation system in place and ready to go. And now you'll build on it as you go, but you've got a starting point. You don't have to wish that, you had these systems set up. You can just jump right in. And one of the other things that we have available, if you want to grab them, is we have a lot of content that you can download and give away, so you don't have to write things yourself. We have things for real estate agents and insurance agents so that you can grab those and use them. So the key when you're looking at software and you sign up is asking yourself, how committed am I in actually, I don't want to go too deep into this rabbit hole, but I will say this, we use a ticketing system for our customer support. And it wasn't until I hopped on a call with one of their team members, Eric, that they showed me that my customer support system that I'm using and have been using for a long time also came with the option for us to install a live chat widget to support people as they're, looking to check out Agent CRM. If I had had that conversation a year ago, I wonder how many people I could have talked to while they were on my landing page. It was just because I didn't ask, I didn't hop on a call, that I left that tool unused. So I highly recommend grabbing time with one of the team members at Agent CRM and letting us help you build out your system.
Awesome. Before we make the offer, what I'd like to do is just share with you guys some of the ways that I use my CRM. And then I'd like you to give an example, Alex, of it could be an insurance person or real estate. Like, what would be like some common ways that they would use your CRM? So for me, I get when somebody registers for one of my Zoom meetings, like I've got a planning class coming up next week. So when somebody registers for that, they're opting themselves into my database. So that's one way I use my CRM. Another way is I will email out either my entire list or segments of my list to make special offers. And I send usually at least once a week and sometimes even more an email out to my list. Another way that I'll use my list is tagging the leads. So I can segment my list and know who it is that I want to interact with. I also use it for a lead magnet. I also use my CRM in my referral relationships with people like Alex, where I'll have as part of the agreement, hey, I'll promote you to my CRM, my database, if you promote me to your database. And then all the while, whenever somebody's receiving my emails and they're clicking on things or they're opting into things, the CRM's keeping track of all that. So that's really valuable data for me as I build relationship with people. So I'm prospecting people, but then my CRM is doing a lot of my heavy lifting as I'm regularly reaching out to people. So those are some of the ways that I use a CRM. To me, that's worth about a $30,000 a year employee. That's the amount of value that CRM produces for me. And it's one of the greatest investments in my business. What are some ways, Alex, that a person might use your CRM for their business?
Yeah, so there's three things that I think I get really excited about when I find out that someone signed up for the CRM and they either haven't used a CRM in a while or this is their first CRM. First, I'm excited that they're about to unleash what the possibilities are in being able to see their data in front of them with the tags and the latest activity with the contact, et cetera, because now they have a really good visual representation of what's happening in their business. For me, before I used a CRM, I remember keeping track on a notepad, similar to the one that I've got here, of who I've talked to, notes about the call, et cetera. And it's so easy to lose contacts and forget to call people back. But when you have it in a CRM and you're create tasks for contacts and create reminders, et cetera, makes it really hard, because now it's all in front of you. You can see it. It's hard to have those things slip. The second thing I'm excited about is one of the things that we have inside of Agent CRM that our users are just loving is inside of our email builder. When you're getting ready to write an email out to your list, we've actually incorporated ChatGPT, that new AI tool, to help you write emails. And so I had one of my users, he was really nervous about email to his list. He hadn't done it before, but he opened up our email builder and he clicked on the little content AI tool, and he asked our tool to write an email to the individual, just asking them if they were still interested in life insurance and if he could hop on a call with them. And the AI wrote out the email in blocks and included emojis, and it was a really well done professional email. And my client, he wrote to me and said, Alex, you have no idea how easy this made it for me. I was able to just change the email so it's my voice, but now I'm not staring at a blank screen wondering what I'm going to say. I just typed in one sentence and the AI did the rest. And the third thing that I love, and I would encourage people to check out when they start using Agent CRM, is there's a lot of texting features that are available now inside of Agent CRM and many other CRMs out there. But when you're able to set up automation, which we'll have ready to go for you in your new account, where when somebody calls you and if you miss the call, it automatically texts them back and says, hey, I'm so sorry, I saw you try calling, but on the other line. Those sort of automated responses when people are trying to reach you, whether it's an email or a phone call, etc., that keeps people engaged and they feel seen. We've seen that one simple little flip that I mentioned where they try to call you and a text is sent. We encourage you to add in your scheduling link to that auto text. But we have seen so many of our users turn missed calls into scheduled appointments where now they're ready for the call and their prospect is awaiting their call. And it's simple things like that you just don't know that you're missing out on until you start using a CRM that has some of these fun automations in play.
Awesome. Well, why don't we get to the offer? What are next steps for anybody watching this live or they're watching the recording? How can they work with you?
Yeah, so I would love for you. We have a special offer for Eric Lofholm students, and we set up a fun URL, and the URL is called sellusingai.com. Sellusingai.com, and I just put in the link there. And on that screen, you'll see two options. You'll see the option to start a free trial where you don't pay a dime today. So this gives you 2 weeks to just see if Agent CRM is a fit. See if this is something you want to continue with. You'll get a chance to meet our team after you sign up. My team will reach out to you. You'll get a phone call. You'll see emails. Or if you're like, all right, Alex, I trust you. I know Eric. I want to jump in here and see what this is all about. There is also the $299 special where you get the 3 months of Agent CRM, so you won't have to pay for it again for 3 months. And then you also get 3 hours of dedicated time. The 3 hours of time is not available with the free trial. But if you were to add up 97 plus 97 plus 97, it's $291. And we're throwing in 3 hours of dedicated time with a member of my team to sit with you one-on-one on a Zoom call and help you set up your CRM, help you upload your leads and make sure they're tagged correctly, help show you how to use some of these tools to write emails using AI, or just send emails using your own, your own ideas. We also have funnels that we can help you set up. We have beautiful funnels with, a lead magnet where you add in the form and you plug in the automation. So what our team is going to do is they're going to simply ask you, what is your goal for these first 3 hours? And it's going to differ depending on where you are in your business. And then we're going to help you execute those goals. And we're going to get as much work done as possible in those 3 hours. And my goal for you as an Eric Lofholm student, a fellow ELI student, I've been all the way through silver, gold, all the way to platinum. I want to see you succeed because I want to see every single other ELI student succeed. And the best way that I can help you succeed is if you sign up for the 3 hours as well as getting access to the software. So go to sellusingai.com, sellusingai.com, sign up. My team will be leading you through the process of getting onboarded. They'll be personally reaching out to you with a quick welcome call. And then you'll be invited to schedule that first hour-long call so that we can help get everything set up.
Awesome. Alex, that's a really fantastic offer. And Alex and I, we had several conversations before we did the Zoom today, talking about me sharing about you guys from my perspective and what kinds of support I think that you need. I don't do my own tech. I have people that do the tech for me. I focus on selling. I sell and I coach and I speak, and that's what I'm good at. And I have people that help me with the tech, and I have tools like what Alex is offering you here. And that onboarding, that's a really, really valuable offer. The software by itself is $97 a month. You can do the free trial if you choose that, or if you purchase the 3-month package for $299, you're going to get 3 hours of onboarding. And I think, you know, that's just really a phenomenal offer to really help you work through that learning curve. And the last thing that I want to share with you is this. If you think about how much longer you plan on being in business, you know, for me, I'm planning on working until I'm 89. So I'm 52. So I've got however many years I have left. And if you're not fully harnessing the power of a CRM and these online tools, you really hear what I'm telling you right now. You want to get through that learning curve as quickly as you can, because the sooner you get through the learning curve, the longer the value. And so once Robert influenced me, hey, Eric, you need to get a CRM, you need to be doing email marketing. Fortunately, I'm getting into immediate action, and I've, of course, never regretted it. And it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And Alex has a great product. He has a great company, great support, and he's a member of the ELI family. So Alex, I'll turn it over to you if there's anything else that you want to share.
I'm excited to work with each and every one of you. I would love for you all to try Agent CRM, whether it's on a free trial or you go, you know what, I'm going to jump in with both feet and jump into the 3 months and 3 hours. I'm excited to work with you. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me directly on Facebook. I'm here to answer your questions. My team is also here. I have a full-time team of 17 people, you guys. So we're available for support. We have 24/7 live chat. You can call us. We'll answer the phone and help you. We have great email support, a vibrant Facebook group with other users that are sharing their wins and, you know, showing off how they're using the software. And we are constantly adding new things. One of our favorite support features that we have is our daily Zoom calls. Every day at 7 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific, a team member of mine goes live on Zoom, answers questions, and if you're stuck, they'll actually help you. They'll just, you know, ask for control of your computer and do the thing that you're stuck on. And now it moves you over to the next thing that you want to work on inside of the CRM. So our support is unmatched. One of the reasons that we're the fastest growing CRMs in the world is because of our support. And I know that even for those of you that have not had a CRM for a while, or you've been with one and you just know it doesn't have the features you need in today's day and age, when you come over to Agent CRM, you're going to experience a world-class service, a concierge service as we onboard you and help you get set up. So I'm excited to work with you. And again, Eric, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to your audience. And these kind of conversations excite me, and I cannot wait to report back in a couple of weeks and share some of the success stories for the people on this call.
Awesome, Alex. So I appreciate the conversation today and the value that you're creating for the ELI community, and for the great offer, especially those 3 hours of onboarding for those that want that. And thank you all for joining us today. We'll look forward next time that I'm able to connect with you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.